Welcome to Music with Mrs. Avery. Hello students. Today we are going to look a little bit deeper into rhythm. Can you say our vocabulary word rhythm? Great. And if you have been with me in years past, you might remember rhythm is the pattern of the beats. Can you say that with me? Go. Rhythm is the pattern of the beats. Let's say it again and tap our legs. Go. Rhythm is the pattern of the beats. Great job. So we are going to look at rhythm a little bit closer. And this year, you are going to learn how to compose rhythms. You are going to learn how to count rhythms. And then you are going to learn how to play them all by yourself. So, before we get started with that, we have to learn about a few more music symbols and how they are going to help us compose, count, and play rhythms. We are going to get started learning about the different music symbols you are going to need to understand to compose your own rhythmic pattern. So, if you want to take a moment to get a piece of paper and a pencil, or if you have a whiteboard at home and you want to write some of this out, you can go ahead and pause this video now and go grab those things quick. Okay, so the first music symbol that we need to learn in order to write rhythm patterns is this. And yes, it looks like a line, but in music, it is called a rhythm line. And this is where you will compose or write your notes. Rhythm line. Can you say rhythm line? Go ahead and write that down. Excellent job. Now, we're going to add these two small little lines to each side of the rhythm line. These little lines here are called bar lines. So here's one bar line, and here is another bar line. Go ahead and draw them in and label them. Now, the next thing you need to learn is this space between these two bar lines. So this whole space is called a measure. So that is the space between two bar lines. That is called a measure. So let's review this vocabulary first. Our line here is our rhythm line, and that is where our notes will go. These small little lines are called bar lines. And the space between two bar lines is called a measure. Take a moment and make sure that you have that all written down nice and neatly. Let's say these vocabulary words. Would you repeat them after me? Rhythm line, bar line, measure, let's practice those vocabulary words a little bit more. If you remember what this line is, go ahead and yell it out to me. That's right. It's a rhythm line. Excellent. Now, how about these smaller lines? Do you remember what those are called? Yell it out to me. That's correct. Those are our bar lines. And if you look at this example up here, we have 1, 2, 3 bar lines. So here is my next question. You just learned that the space between 2 bar lines is called a measure. Say measure. So looking at this example here, how many measures are there? Remember, the space between 2 bar lines is a measure. So the space between this bar line and this bar line is a measure. And the space between this bar line and this bar line is a measure. Now it's time to show me what you know. You are going to go into our Music Google Classroom and you are going to click Classwork and find this week's assignment. I am going to ask you to complete these 3 questions. The first is actually a fill in the blank. You compose a rhythmic pattern on A, and then you will fill in the blank. Question number 2 and 3 go along with this example here, and I have uploaded a picture of this example in the assignment. So please open that up before you answer these 2 questions. And you are going to tell me how many bar lines and how many measures. Now for each of these, I would like for you to answer in complete sentences. So for the first one, you can just rewrite. You compose a rhythmic pattern on A and then fill in the blank. And then for these 2 questions, you might want to say there are blank bar lines and there are blank measures. Please make sure that your sentences start with capital letters and they end with the proper punctuation. You have done a great job learning our new music vocabulary today, and I can't wait to see your work in Google Classroom.